Welcome back to C++ with Miyoshi. I'm here to talk today about a little bit about syntax and vocabulary. Every language, regardless of whether it's a programming language or a language we speak on Earth, has rules, and so those rules are different depending on the language, just as they are in programming languages, they are in spoken languages. Things like capitalization in C++ and Java and many other languages, cap, C-A-P with a capital C, and all caps, C-A-P. These are different words in C++, and so we have to be careful about capitalization. There's spelling. If you are a terrible speller, that's okay as long as you're consistent. There's a few words you have to spell correctly, but for the most part, just be consistent. Punctuation is really important in the English language, every language. Punctuation is important in C++ as well. And you're going to get used to this little guy, the semicolon. You're going to need it after every line of code, pretty much. And then we have things like sentence structure. Just like in the English language, there's ways you have to construct your sentences. Same thing is true with C++. Here we have a function that's called printf, and it just outputs stuff to the screen. And things inside of double quotes are what we call literals, and we'll get into this a little bit later. But your sentence structure looks something like this, with that little semicolon at the end. Just like I promised, we're going to see it lots. We also have things like vocabulary. Just like in every language, we have vocabulary that's specific to C++, and there's stuff that's not specific to C++, but it's really important. There's keywords that you'll find. Keywords are important words that are necessary for programming. Things like for, if, else, do, and there's a bunch more keywords, but these are things that you will only be used for specific actions, specific things that you have to do, and they're not used for anything else. And we also have things like the words like type, which is a specific, it's a word in English, but it's also, as are these guys, but they have specific meaning in C++. And we'll talk about types a little bit later, but types are different data types, and we'll talk about them. If you hear me say things like types and other keywords, I will try to explain them as we go along, but understand that there is special vocabulary for C++ and programming in general. So just a little bit of introduction here about syntax, and we'll get going and learn a little bit more about that as we go along. Hope you tune in some more for C++ with Miyoshi.